The Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad in simple English, part 4 of 15, Madhu continued, chapter 1 concluded, sections 5 and 6. This part deals with Prajapatis, with the creator's production of the world as food for himself, with the self identified as the Prajapati of 16 parts, with the three worlds and the means of winning them, and with the threefold character of the world. The Father of creation produced by knowledge and austerity 7 kinds of food. One of these 7 foods was common and was for all beings. 2 of these foods he earmarked for the gods. 1 he gave to the animals, and 3 of these foods he kept for himself. In these foods everything rests, everything is supported, and everything is nourished by these foods. Whatever breathes and whatever does not breathe. Why then do these foods not decrease when they are being eaten all the time? He who knows the reason for the foods not decreasing and being inexhaustible, he eats food with his mouth. He goes to the gods. He lives on strength. Thus the verses. When the Father produced by knowledge and austerity 7 kinds of food, means that the Father produced these 7 kinds of foods by his knowledge and by his practicing austerity and meditation. One of these foods was common to all beings, means that this food, the common food, common to all. He who eats or worships this common food, he is not freed from evil, for this food is mixed. 2 of the foods he earmarked for the gods. These 2 are the fire sacrifice hota and the offering made at the time of the sacrifice. Therefore, one sacrifices and makes offerings to the gods. But some also say that they are the new moon and the full moon sacrifices. Therefore, one should not sacrifice for material ends or for material gains. One of the foods he gave to the animals, means that one food is milk, for at first after they are born, both men and animals live on milk alone. Therefore, they make a newborn baby first lick clarified butter, or put it to the breast of the mother, so that it could drink milk. Similarly, they speak of a newborn calf as one that does not eat grass. In it everything rests, whatever breathes and what does not, means that it is on this milk that everything rests, that everything is supported, all that breathes and all that does not breathe. It is said that by making offerings with milk for a year, one conquers death. One should not think so, for he who knows this, he conquers further death the very day he makes the offering, for he offers all his food to the gods. Why then do they not decrease when they are being eaten all the time? Means that the person who is making this food is imperishable and everlasting, and he is constantly producing this food, which is therefore also inexhaustible and everlasting. He who knows this imperishableness, means he knows that the person is imperishable, for by his continuous meditation he produces this food all the time. Therefore, this food is inexhaustible and everlasting and never finishes. It does not decrease. He eats food with his mouth, means that the mouth is the instrument with which he eats the food. He goes to the gods, he lives on strength. This is just praise. 3 of the foods he made for himself. These are mind, speech, and breath. These 3 he made for himself. People say, my mind was elsewhere, I did not see it. My mind was elsewhere, I did not hear it. It is indeed with the mind that one sees, and it is with the mind that one hears. Desire, determination, doubt, faith, lack of faith, steadfastness or lack of it, shame, intelligence, fear, all this is truly in the mind. Therefore, even if one is touched on his back, one feels it with the mind. Now about that sound. Whatever sound there is, it is but speech. While it serves to determine an end object, it is not itself determined or revealed. About breath, the in-breath pran-vayu, the out-breath apan-vayu, the diffused breath vyan-vayu, the upper breath udan-vayu, the middle breath or the equalizing breath saman-vayu. All that breathes is breath only. The self, therefore, consists of these three: speech, mind, and breath. These represent the three worlds. Speech is this world, the earth; mind is the world of the atmosphere, the sky; and breath is the world of heaven. These are also the three Vedas. Speech is the Rig Ved, mind is the Yajur Ved, and breath is the Sam Ved. These are also the gods, the ancestors and men. Speech is the gods, mind is the ancestors, and breath is the men. These are father, mother, and the offspring, children. Mind is the father, speech is the mother, and breath is the offspring, the children. These are what is known, what is to be known, and what is not known. Whatever is known, that is a form of speech. For speech is the knower, and speech, by becoming that which is known, protects the knower. Whatever is to be known is a form of mind, for it is the mind that is to be known, and the mind, by becoming the known, protects him. Whatever is unknown is a form of breath, for breath is that what is unknown, and breath, by becoming the unknown, protects him. Of this speech, the earth is the body. Its light is this earthly fire. As far as speech extends, so far extends the earth, and so far extends the fire as well. Of this mind, heaven is the body, and its light form is the sun. As far as the mind extends, so far extends the heaven, and so far extends the sun as well. These two, the fire and the sun, entered into union, and from that union was born breath. He is Indra, the Supreme Lord. He is without a rival. Truly, it is a second person who becomes a rival. It is a second person who is a rival. He who knows this, he has no rival. Next of this breath, water is the body. Its light form is the moon. As far as the breath extends, so far extends water, and so far extends the moon as well. These are all alike in that they are all endless, they are all infinite. They are without end. He who meditates on them as finite, as having a limit and an end, he wins only a finite, limited world. He wins a world which has limits and an end. But he who meditates on them as infinite, he wins an infinite world, a world without limits, a world without an end. Prajapati, the creator, is identified with the year, and he has 16 parts. His nights and days have 15 parts, which are always changing. And his 16th part is the one that is fixed and constant, that is unchanging. He is increased and decreased by his nights and his days alone, which are his changing parts. On the new moon night, he enters into everything here in existence that has breath, with his fixed and constant 16th part, and he is born from there in the following morning. Therefore, on that night, one should never cut off the breath of anything that breathes, not even of a lizard, in honor of that god. The person here who knows this is himself Prajapati, the creator, with 16 parts, who is the year. His wealth, which increases or decreases, is the changing 15 parts. The 16th part is his self, the fixed part, which is always constant and never changes. It is in wealth alone that one is increased or decreased. This is what increases or decreases. This is what is subject to change. That which is the self is the hub. It is the core. It is the unchanging, fixed part, not subject to change. Wealth is the felly. It is the outer trappings of a person subject to change. Therefore, even if one loses all wealth but himself lives, people say that he has lost only his felly, which can be restored again, since by losing wealth one only loses one's outer trappings. His inner core, his inner hub, his fixed part is still intact. There are in fact three worlds: the world of men, the world of the fathers, and the world of the gods. The world of men can be obtained only through the Son, and not by any other means such as rites or works. The world of the fathers is obtained by rites, and the world of the gods is obtained by knowledge and meditation. The world of the gods is the best of the worlds. Therefore, knowledge and meditation are praised, since it is by knowledge and meditation that the best of the worlds, the world of the gods, is obtained. Now we talk about transmission. When a man thinks that he is about to depart from this world, when he is about to die, he says to his son, "Son, you are Brahm, you are the sacrifice, and you are the world." The son answers, "I am Brahm, I am the sacrifice, I am the world." Whatever has been studied and learnt, all that taken in totality is knowledge, is Brahm. Whatever sacrifices have been made, all those taken in totality are the world. All this is indeed this much. Being thus the all, let him, the Son, preserve me from the ties of this world. Thus the Father thinks. Therefore they call a son who is educated as world procuring, and therefore they instruct and educate him. When one who knows this departs from this world, he enters into his Son together with his life breaths. Whatever wrong has been done by him, his Son frees him from it all, because of which he is called a son. Through his Son, a father stands firm in this world. Then the divine immortal breaths enter into him. From the earth and from the fire, the divine speech enters into him. And it is by the divine speech that whatever one says comes to be fulfilled. From the heaven and the sun, the divine mind enters into him. And it is by the divine mind that one experiences only joy and never has sorrows. From water and the moon, the divine breath enters him. It is because of the divine breath, whether moving or not, that is in him, that he is never perturbed and never injured. He who knows this, he becomes the self, he becomes the Atma of all beings. He becomes divine like Hiranyagarbha. All beings regard and worship the divine Hiranyagarbha. So too do all beings regard and worship him who knows this. Whatever sufferings creatures may undergo, these remain with them. Individuals suffer because they cause suffering to one another. But only merit goes to him. No evil or demerit ever goes to the gods. Now let us consider the rules of religious life. Let us consider meditative worship. Prajapati, the creator, created the active senses as the instruments of activity. They, when they were created, quarrelled with one another. Speech resolved, "I will go on speaking." The eye, "I will go on seeing." The ear, "I will go on hearing." And thus all the other organs, each according to its function. Death assumed the form of fatigue and entered them. Thus they all get tired and are not able to do their work. Therefore, speech invariably gets tired. The eye invariably gets tired. The ear invariably gets tired. And when they are tired, they are unable to work. But death did not take hold of the middle breath. Therefore, the middle breath never gets tired. The senses realized this and sought to know the middle breath, saying, "This middle breath is indeed the greatest among us all, since whether moving or not, it is never perturbed, it is never injured, it is never tired. Let us assume his form." They all therefore became a form of breath. Therefore they are called breath pran after him. In whatever family there is a man who knows this, they call that family after him. And whoever strives and quarrels with one who knows this, he shrivels away, and after shriveling dies in the end. This was with reference to the self. Now with reference to the gods. Fire resolved, I will go on burning. The sun I will go on warming. The moon I will go on shining. And so said the other gods, each according to his divine function. As breath holds the central position among the vital breaths, so too does air hold the central position among the divinities. For all other divinities have their decline. They all set, but not air. Air is the god that never sets. It never goes to rest. On this there is this verse, from whom the sun rises and in whom it sets. In truth, it is from breath that the sun rises, and it is in breath that it sets. The gods made him the law. He only is today, and he only is tomorrow also. Whatever the gods saw back then at the beginning of time, they see the same today too. The functions the gods performed at the beginning of time, those very functions they perform today as well. One should breathe in and breathe out. One should perform the functions of respiration and excretion, wishing, let not the evil of death get me. And when he performs these functions, he should try to complete them. Thereby, he wins complete union with that God, and lives in the same world with him. This world is a trinity of name, shape, and work. Of these, speech is the source of all names. For it is from speech that all names arise, and it is by speech that all names are uttered. It is the common feature of all names. It is their Brahm, for it sustains all names. With regard to shapes, the eye is the source of all shapes. For it is from the eye that all shapes arise, since it is with the eye that we see all shapes. It is their common feature, for it is common to all shapes. It is their Brahm, for it sustains all shapes. With regard to works, the body is the source of all works. It is from the body that all works arise, for it is by and with the body that all works are done. It is their common feature, for it is common to all. It is their Brahm, for it sustains all works. These three together, name, shape, and work, or speech, eye, and body, are one, this self. The self, though one, is this trinity. This is the immortal, veiled by the real. Breath is the immortal, and name and shape are the real. Thus, this immortal breath is veiled and hidden by the real of name and shape. End of chapter 1, end of part 4 of 15. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om.